Welcome to the making a motif with a triad. It could also be called a riff, but we're just working on C, E, and G in the C major chord structure, which you can see the colors here. We're just limiting ourselves to these so that we can see that composition can start very simply and revolve around some very simple building blocks. What we're going to do first is go to Online Sequencer and create, with the C, E, and G notes, some kind of pattern that repeats. And here's my example. Whoops. I can hear that right now. And what I want to do is, once I've created it and I have it play through this duration of time, I'm going to click Save, and I wait for a moment. And two things. I want to get this link right here, and I want to paste this into my blog. So I'm actually going to click on this, and what it does, it loads this example that anybody could play at any time, which is kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my blog post, which I've created for this project, which you can see making motif making with a triad. And what I want to do is paste in my motif right here. And I'm going to paste in the address there, and I'm going to turn this into a link. Now, the reason I want to do this is that somebody could go back and they could click it, or I could go back and I could experiment with it if I wanted to. We're going to come back to the blog post later, but what I want to do now is export the MIDI file. It's going to say leave page. I'm okay with that, and I will name this sample. I could call it whatever I want. Actually, maybe I'll call it my motif, and let's capitalize the M, and I'll save that to the desktop. And I should see that over here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Flat. And what I'd like you to do is sign in with your Google account from the school district. And I'm going to do that. Wait for it. And when I sign in, there, I'm going to upload an existing score. I'll just do this for public right now. I click on the blue dot area, and I'm looking on my desktop. Click here on desktop, and I'm looking for my motif MIDI file. By the way, the MIDI is Musical Instrument Digital Interface. It's basically note events that can be created in any kind of computer program. And then we can assign whatever sounds we want to those note events, piano, cello, or whatever. And let's listen to this. I can now see the music notation of what I've created, and that's kind of cool. And what I could do is I want you to take a screenshot of either this or this. And I think since we can have access to this inside our link, I prefer for you to take a screenshot of this because we can actually see the notation playing out here. And to do a screenshot, I'm going to do Command-Shift-4, and I'm going to just go like so. And I'm going to use that screenshot in a little bit. Over here on my desktop, I'm going to retitle it, I'll just say flat.io image. And we're going to be uploading that to our Flickr account and putting it into our blog. What I want to do now, though, is export this out by clicking on the export button here. And I could do MP3 or WAV file. WAV does not lose any quality at all, whereas MP3 compresses it, makes a much smaller file, which is really handy for the internet, but in this case, it's such a small file, I don't really have a problem. When in doubt, I usually go with WAV file because, again, it keeps more quality in it. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to ask to download it. I'm going to, I'll just name it Flat, and I'm going to save it to the desktop. And now I have a WAV file. Now I'm going to go over to Soundcloud, and I'm going to sign in, or create. Hopefully you have an account. If you need to create an account, again, type in your email address, or click on Google, sign in with your Google account from the school district. And what I'm going to do is click on that, and I'm going to use this account. I normally use my school district one. Either one will work for me. And I click the upload button, choose file to upload. I go to my desktop, and I'm looking for the flat WAV file, and I click open. And I'm going to choose whatever I want in here. I'm going to type in, genre. That's really up to you. I'll say classical. And tag, I'm using this as educational. You can type any tag you want in here. This is a sample motif. And I want it to be public so that we can listen to it. I could put an image here if I wanted. And I could go and I could grab this right here. I'm going to click open. And what do you know? I have that. Click save. And now what I want to do is I want to go to my track because I want to embed this into my blog post. And when I click on this and copy it and go back to my blog post, I'm going to embed my motif right here. And I could do it above or below the link. I think above the link will look a little bit better. And when I click like this, it's going to automatically embed it. And there I can see that that's there. And I'm going to update my blog post just to make sure it's saving. And you can see that my blog post now has that. I can click on the online sequencer. I can see the notation here, which is kind of cool. And I'm just going to leave that like that. And now my notes. What I want to do is I want to put the screenshot that I have over here from the full notation. What's cool is I can see it here, but I can't see all of it. And so what I'm going to do is just place the picture here. But to do that, I'm going to upload to Flickr. So I've already logged into my Flickr account from my account that I created before. And I'm going to click the upload button. And I can just drag this over here. Wow, that's super fast. And I could put some other information here, but I'm just going to click upload file. And it says public. Yes, I want it public so I can embed it into my blog post. And just waiting for this. Yeehaw. Then, once I have it here, I'm going to click on the image. And I'm going to view all sizes. And our blog post is usually about 500 pixels wide. So I'm going to pick that option. Then right-click on it. And I want to copy image address. Go back to my blog post. And right here, I'm going to add media from URL. I'll paste in the address. If I did it correctly, I'll see the sample here. And I insert into post. And now I'm going to update. And the only other piece of the blog here that I haven't talked about, but you can see here, is I have a summary stating what the project was about. And you can see that I linked to the tools we used. You don't have to link them, but it's just kind of nice. And it summarizes what the project was about. I have an audio sample. I have a visual sample of my notation. And then I have what I learned. So this is just a final reflection. So what did you learn from the project? And then you publish. Notice that I use headings, and I used heading 2. And again, if you don't know where those are, click here, and you can see that. The text I always leave as paragraph. But it does a nice job of looking easy to read. And if I preview my changes, I can see that I have a nice heading, the title. Then the headings here organize the blog post really cleanly, and I can see the whole thing. If I click on this, it can take me over, and I can play through the notes. And that is it.